I think that was probably one of our better episodes. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, I was not expecting it to go that way.
All right, Daniel, take us out.
All right. Well, you've been listening to Damage Control Podcasting. You've been listening to previously on a Damage Control Podcasting production. Check us out every episode, or new episodes every Monday on SoundCloud and YouTube. And check us out on social media.
I'm thinking about going
Facebook and on Twitter.
To Vimeo.
Vimeo? We could maybe put ourselves on.
What's that one? What's that one that was created by the dictator, the communist? Zack Snyder always uses it.
Huh. Well, find us on Twitter and Facebook at Damage Control.
Vero. Sorry, I redlined it. Vero.
All right.
Well,
or possibly Vero in the future.
We're trying.
Yeah,
to
I don't know why you keep bringing this up this episode with Vimo and Zack Snyder. I don't know. Your plot was a little weird for my taste.
I didn't like it at all.
Plane in the neck.
It was pretty rough.
I'm just glad you remember to put new batteries in it.
Yeah, okay. All right, Adam. Press the button.
Click. So, are we going?
Yeah, I don't know how to segue back to the beginning.
Oh, okay.
It was a time travel reference.
Someone was supposed to do time travel.
Well, that's just it. Like, we're supposed to go back in time, right? And like, oh, wow, remember what happened then? He interrupted me.
Someone's strangling a walrus.
That's what time travel sounds
God,
like.
You have to...
That's
that was my intro. That was the best I had. I don't remember the rest of my intro. Okay.
Is it written down?
No, it's not.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Previously On. I'll save you, Tyler. Welcome to Previously On, a Damage Control Podcasting production. Here we play as writers in a room trying to appease our studio head,
Cindy.
who is Tyler.
Cindy.
No, it's Deborah this time.
Deborah.
Cindy died. Horrible accident.
Did we send her flowers?
Yeah, she had a plane in the neck.
No,
everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you'd have to be here. All right, so
we'll be selling tickets to our next taping.
I know that Mr. Ballin does them live now. He's a podcaster.
All right. Anyway, the way this game works is Tyler, who has one last episode.
The best option. Blew everyone out of the water.
Yes, with his I'll do anything for love, but won't do that song reference. Beat a bare naked ladies marathon and
a horribly thought out. Yeah, that was
five different movies from Adam that all involved that went down to Georgia.
And when you got so many awesome ideas as I do, they just all kind of come out.
Yep. So Tyler is honored with the privilege of hosting,
which I passed that on to Daniel. I hate hosting.
Yeah. And his topic for today was time travel.
Yes.
So Adam, Cody, and I will be creating time travel movies. Tyler will be judging them, and
what's your studio head name?
Will keep interrupting me.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, see, I was going to travel through time and get a whole bunch of producers, but I couldn't get him. He was busy.
No. I wonder what he's doing.
I don't want to know what he was doing.
It's not what, it's who.
Deborah?
I'm like
Deborah.
I'm like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I don't want to know what he was doing.
Oh, okay.
So, we're going to start off with a pre-quiz. This will be added to your final score.
Is that like pre-com?
Yes.
For quizzes?
Yes. Now my kids can't listen to this episode.
Nah,
no one listens to these episodes besides my bosses.
Bots do. Bots on SoundCloud do. They keep retweeting.
And Adam's mom?
Yes.
No,
not Tyler's mom, but Adam's mom.
Yeah, not the same one. Okay.
All right.
So we got...
do we just yell our names and say go?
Nope, you just yell out the answer.
Okay. 5.
Okay. I will name the time machine, and you have to tell me where the time machine is from.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Cosmic Treadmill.
The Flash.
DC Universe.
The Project Accelerator.
Doctor Who. Oh, I don't know.
Project Accelerator. I don't know that one, no.
Quantum Leap.
Oh. Did you watch any of the new shit?
I watched the first episode.
Any good?
That wasn't bad.
Okay.
They referenced it's not a reboot because
it's a continuation.
Yeah, it's a continuation.
Oh, is he going back to try and find Scott Bakula's character?
I believe that's what they were hinting at, but Scott Bakula, as far as I know, hasn't appeared in anything. Like they show
he said he wasn't even asked.
They show his face in a hologram, and the project was reopened to try and bring him back, and Al, Sam's sidekick from the Ridge series, his daughter was on the project, and then she got kicked off.
Okay.
So I just ended up watching other things.
Interesting.
Okay. The Mothership and Lifeboat.
The Mothership and Lifeboat.
It's an Eric Kripke show.
Who's Eric Kripke?
He's the guy who wrote Supernatural.
It's got
Night Flyers.
It's one word.
Is it Supernatural?
No, because every show he writes, it's only Supernatural, Revolution. They all have one.
Oh, is it? It was the one that they went back in time to the dinosaur world.
Oh,
okay.
That was Terra Nova.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't remember if it was one word or two.
Is it Ark?
Nope. Timeless.
Oh,
that was a good show.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. We all remember it.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
The Wave Rider.
Ooh.
Not the comic book character.
Oh. Man, I know that. I don't know where it's from though.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
That's exactly where that's from.
Shut up. You know what? I was happy with these questions.
They are good
Did
questions.
we say anything?
I was hoping that people would have done research for this.
That's the whole point. We were not doing research.
You're supposed to do research for Previously On.
Are we?
Omni.
Yeah, so to make our stories.
Oh,
the
stories.
Omni.
Is that from the one?
No, it's from Voyagers.
Oh, okay.
This is your water from like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, you kept it?
Yes.
Lisbon Falls Time Slip.
Lisbon Falls Time. Eureka.
Nope.
Oh, that does sound like a Eureka thing.
Yeah, it does.
11/22/63.
Oh yeah, man! That
back in time.
That show was really good. It's all about going back in time and stopping JFK's assassination.
The Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
Legend of
that Princess Link.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Slap him, Cody.
Ow, God, he was joking, Cody.
Wormhole activating and bridging computer.
A wormhole bridging and activating.
You may know it better by its other name, the Wayback.
Oh, that is
Peabody.
Yes.
Yes. Adam is probably the only person that's seen this movie besides me. The Time Bubble.
Oh God! Now you put all that. The Time Bubble.
Think Matt LeBlanc.
Oh yeah.
Time Machine.
No, it's Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the Vortex Manipulator.
Is that Doctor Who?
Yes, that is Doctor Who.
Okay.
So that will be figured into your final question.
The Time Bubble.
Since Daniel helped me out with my hosting duties as studio head for 31st Century Fox, Daniel gets to go first.
Hilarious Futurama.
Oh, thank you.
That's great because I was hoping to go last.
Then
because this episode got moved up a week.
Cody gets to go first, as I said previously. Because yes,
and that's how it ends. All right, that was my pitch.
Oh, I loved it.
All right. Okay, you have
Matthew
your time.
McConaughey, thank you for joining the podcast.
All right. So you have your time travel movies. You got the go forward, you got your go backs, and you got your loops. Your loop-de-loops.
Yes, that's the scientific term for it, loop-de-loops.
That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson says.
Yes, the loop-de-loop.
Neil deGrasse.
You know how time gets all wibbly-wobbly.
Ooh, you're throwing in Doctor Who reference? That's an additional point.
So, we always say going forward. What about, instead of that, my time travel movie, we are a stop in time.
We are what? Wait, what?
You're stuck in time?
You are stopped in time. It is centered around our main character who wakes up one day like, oh shit, I missed my alarm clock. Like, oh, it's reading wrong, whatever. Gets up, goes out the door, tries to start his car, goes down to his garage, tries to start his car, not starting, like, what the hell's going on? And eventually goes outside, everything is stopped. He is the only thing that can physically move. While everything else has come to a complete standstill.
Okay.
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay. So at first he's like,
I've already got perverted things in my head, what
Got-
this guy would be doing.
"Oh wow, you
main,
just
main,
took it."
main character, guy or girl?
Either way, it's still perverted for
Well,
me.
I don't. That's why you're not involved in the decision making.
Susan Blanc, she's a woman. Let's make it that way. That way, get rid of half the pervertedness of it.
Susan.
No, that just makes it worse.
I'm with Daniel. It just makes it worse.
Okay, who's playing her? Who we got?
Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
Is she? Besides Gravity, what sci-fi movie has she done?
Premonition.
It doesn't necessarily have to be sci-fi.
While you were
My
sleeping?
idea behind the movie
Striptease.
is we're not getting in behind the specifics of the time
Oh,
stop.
yeah, right.
So the time stop, it just happens. She has no way or means of controlling it or how to even interact with it. Like,
Bird
she has
Box.
not even the comprehension of how she could even explain it scientifically.
So is she like a regular? Not a regular Joe. What's the female?
What are
Regular
her
Jane?
pronouns?
I'm not going to start this.
I mean,
But-
like, would she have like any scientific background to be like, oh, clearly, X experiment happened, and now
Nothing. That comes with it level of helplessness and terror at the same time of how do I even start to comprehend this? How do I even start to move past this to even see if I might be able to do something to stop it?
Okay.
But then you get into the logistics of it too. You start getting into, because she wakes up, kids gotta get ready for school. Her kids are still in bed.
Ooh, so she's got
Forever.
family stakes.
At first, it's a slow panic for the first year.
Ooh.
And then the second year happens. And then it gets to the point, she's at that age where you can't really tell she's aging yet. But you get to the point where she
Sandy
finally
doesn't
looks up
really
one
age.
day in the mirror and she finds her hair is starting to go gray. And she's like, I am actually moving forward while everything else is standing still.
So is everything actually standing still, or is she just moving so fast to where it's imperceivable to her?
You kind of jumped me on the point a little
I'm
bit.
sorry. I'm trying.
You
I'm
jumped me
new
on
to
the
this.
point a little
Well,
bit.
he is
because
Harvey
that's when we get
Weinstein,
to
so-
that's when we get to year 20, when one of her childs is starting to open their eyes to wake up in the morning that she hasn't checked on in years.
So is the sun not moving either, or is the sun in?
Sun stays in place.
Oh, so she got to sleep when
Well-
she gets tired.
well, at
in
least for
broad
her, it's
daylight.
staying in place.
Right. Okay.
So you do eventually she starts to try and figure this stuff out. So first she does the whole slowly going mad thing, where she's just doing the crazy shit, busting through windows in stores, drinking herself into a stupor.
So thinking special effects wise, so if she busts a window, does it bust in her time, or does it bust like slow motion style? I'm trying to figure out our FX budget here.
Well, the FF budget might have, because I have this scene where she like throws something and it sort of stops a little bit. Like, it still has momentum from her, so it will go through stuff. But once it hits, she didn't touch the stuff that she breaks, so it's just sort of
So kind of like Quicksilver scene from.
a little bit,
okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
And so instead of the glass just being on the ground, she's got to like take a broom or something, like push it down to the ground where she can walk through it and get all cut up and shit.
Okay.
And then she eventually, like, maybe I can do something about it, goes to the local community college, not enough research. So she then has to walk. She's in a rural area, though, so she's going to have to walk 20 miles to get to the closest university with maybe even actual thing. But even still, she can't interact with any technology. She can't use a computer to search or anything like that because it won't work for her. Like, she can press a bunch of buttons, like, it will not register. So she's all analog at this point. She could possibly ride a bicycle because she could power that herself, but that's it. And so we get to about when she's about 80 years old. And her kid is now slowly, just now, pulling the covers off of the bed from standing. And she is just standing there watching, like, the last week or so. She wakes up, gets in the morning, and it's slowly getting faster. Slowly. Not faster, but slower. And she's like, am I going to make it in time to say goodbye? And that's where we end.
Ooh, so we're going
Ooh, that's a very
unresolved. Ooh,
that is
I
full of existential dread.
so
Well, you guys don't like my fucking joke one, so I can
I
amp
like
it up
it.
a little bit.
I
like
like
it,
it. So
yeah.
are we doing like the main character and the kids? Those are the only people that you see.
You will see everybody else frozen in place.
But I mean, like, so like those are the only really.
They're like-
Sandy's like the only one we got to get. We don't need any famous one for the kids, and everyone else is basically background extras.
Yeah, we can
So
do that.
we can boost our FX budget.
Well, she's
Yeah.
good at acting by herself. Gravity. I mean, George Clooney was in it for a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
she
I
can
don't
hold
have
a
to
solid
act.
movie.
Gravity. Look, I'm doing this. Gravity.
dumb.
Hey, your idea sucked from the 4 other times I had to listen to it.
So, like I said, ideas, thoughts, things we can add. Like, we could have the love interest,
No.
or we can have the scenes where she is fucking up her ex-husband's new house.
No.
New
No,
hot
I do
girlfriend.
like that part. I do like
No.
that part. No? Okay.
Well, no,
I
because
mean,
we
you
don't
gotta
do
have-
it the funny way. We do it the primal, where she's holding a knife over the ex-husband's chest, and then she lets it go, and it just stands there.
You got to do a little bit of the I'm enjoying this, because for the first
Okay.
2 or 3 days, you're gonna have fun with it.
You're gonna have like a Pretty Woman montage where she's like going in and trying on shit that she wouldn't be able to try on, or
Well, that's fine. I don't.
Yeah, like
That's-
go bust into the supermarket and eating food through the supermarket while no one can stop her. Like she's gonna
Okay,
have
all
fun
right,
with
yes.
it for a couple days.
Well, yeah, I agree with
Finding
that.
that- finding
the
that one-
ex-boyfriend thing or
finding
ex-husband
that
thing.
one girl or lady or guy that's in the PTA or whatever that pisses her off at the grocery store and like shoved something in her butt or
Okay,
finger
you didn't
in
have
her
to make it
nose or-
sexual.
Right.
Like, this is a think
That's-
piece, not a
that's-
smut piece.
That's tame for him.
Well, no, you could do things like tie their shoes together or push a shopping cart in front of them. You could do some fun little.
At
little
first,
things
it's just
that.
like, at first, it's little things, tying shoes together,
So
pulling pants down.
Would you do that like, where she's kind of giving like a monologue, like, like, oh, this is clearly a dream, I'm gonna have fun with it type thing?
Yeah.
Or would you
Yeah.
do it where she's like, well, I'm stuck in this situation?
I think it's both. At first, it's a dream. I'm going to have fun with this. So she's just walking around and and just sleeping clothes around the supermarket, pushing a cart, just throwing whatever she wants in there and whatnot. And then she stops and that person was very rude to me last time. So she
like
messed up
pulls
the
down-
cash
pulls down
register,
the pants.
register.
so we'll have to see at least 15 minutes of her normal life.
Yes.
So what if she's like a high power? Let's do like a 1980s moral movie where it's like she's a high powered executive who.
No, I don't want that.
No,
That
no.
gives her too much power.
No.
And I think that gives her too much resources for what the
No,
area I'm planning for.
all I'm saying is she has such a high setting job that she lives so fast that like she's like missing her kids' recitals and everything. She's taking life for granted and not enjoying the small stuff.
You're adding another
So when
layer to it.
so when she hits
She can actually take a break.
so when she hits hyperspeed or the speed zone or whatever, she's like enjoying it. Then at the end, she realizes that she's going to miss all the small stuff because now she's literally moving at the speed of light, like everyone was accusing her of doing when she was normal. Now she's literally doing it and she's dying.
I hate to say it, I actually like that.
I like everything except that she's a high power executive. I
Well,
want her to
I
be
just-
like small town, every woman, but like you can find that problem in every town in America.
Right, that's fine. I just threw that out there. As
not,
So-
not an
yeah.
animal.
Oh
Not-
yeah, you
not
can.
animal.
Was that supposed to be a personal jab? Like, I don't get the
probably. He was looking at me, so I think it was.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a solid.
What's
movie.
it?
We're off to a good start.
What's it called?
If,
Let's just instead of a name, this is a joke, so don't take it seriously. What if we just did like the Doppler effect? It's like, pew!
so the name of the movie is just going to be a sound.
Why would you?
That's the sign of the Doppler effect.
That's got terrible
I-
ECO.
I don't think
or
that is-
ESO.
I don't think that's.
What's that
I don't
mean?
think that's the Doppler effect.
Or SEO. Sorry,
Oh.
it's search engine optimization.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think that's the Doppler effect.
Yeah, when you draw it, it's really close, and then it gets wider, and then it gets
No,
I like
that's,
to call
that's
it
the
wider.
That's
and
the
it's
heart rate monitor thing.
Look it up. Google, saying dead air. We can't look it up.
I would like to call it The Little Things.
That's a Good Charlotte song. Good Charlotte could be on the soundtrack. That's a Good Charlotte song.
If you blink, you're gonna miss the little things.
Would you do, since
I just caught
you can?
You sure did.
I meant to turn the other way. I don't know why I turned it.
Since everything's operating slower, would you do like a soundtrack or would you do a score?
Well, that's just it. She's alone. I want to go nothing.
No sound except the sound that she makes.
Yeah.
Like while she's walking and everything.
And no fate but the one she makes.
I mean, it would be a cool gimmick. Quiet Place, that movie with
John
Krasinski.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It's
like, I want it to be sort of like a parallel to that Last Man on Earth thing. I can do whatever I want now. With I'm the last person that is moving, but I still can't make anything happen. So you get to the end where she finally, after 20 years, figures out. But might not timeline wise. After a certain amount of time of her studying at this university, like physics and whatnot, she sort of has a bearing of what might have happened to her. But that's it. But she realized because it's what it is, there is no means to affect it. She does not have the power to.
Do we explain what it is? Like, is there?
No.
Okay.
So this is just a single story. There's never a resolution. We're just leaving it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Not gonna do like a comic book tie-in. You're like, I'm just trying to think about how we're gonna make some money off of this.
Toys.
You're wanting toys of a person's descent into loneliness and despair, which is Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
So
Worst superhero ever.
I will say no. To add anything to it, I think would diminish it. I don't think we get the happy ending. I don't think we get the. It was all a dream. Okay, I think it ends.
Studio exec. Not everything has to be a tentpole movie.
I'm playing a role.
We can use your tentpole movies to produce the art house movie.
You're fired. Get out of here, Cindy.
Deborah, Cindy's dead.
How do you know? We may have traveled back in time.
Later on,
Cindy's dead. We haven't killed her.
Just what he said.
You killed Cindy?
No.
He hit her with a plane in the neck.
The Asians killed her.
Whoa.
You brought that up yourself. Wow. What are you doing, man? Okay. You want something to die, you gotta let it be forgotten.
But it doesn't have to be but we can use your Marvel movies to pay for this art house flick.
He's just asking.
Calm down.
He's just asking. He's going to get plenty of monetization out of my movie.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Yes, there could be a tie-in. Second movie, we find out there's somebody on the exact opposite side of the earth doing the exact same thing in China.
Bringing in the Asians.
You didn't have to tie it into anything, Cody.
You know what? No, I want to do this. In fact, there was 4 people on each hemisphere.
Okay. All right. Or is the one on the southern hemisphere? Are they going the other direction?
Yes.
Are they going like super fast? No, super slow.
They're all going.
Isn't everyone going super slow?
Well, but if they're going the opposite direction, so everyone would be going super fast, he'd be going super slow.
Yeah.
But why would he be special compared to all of the other people on the planet that are going super slow?
Well, that's just what I'm saying right now.
Only in the... Because she's Sandy Bullock.
Oh, okay.
So while she's always been the light, you got to talk to a guy that has forever lived the rest of his life in complete darkness because he can't make a flashlight work for him anywhere he goes either.
Mm.
That's a cool idea, actually. I really like that idea.
So that's my tie-in, but you get the...
That'd be the sequel?
Yes. Well, not necessarily sequel. It could be a tie-in.
Makes me think of Buried.
I could see that would be a really cool, like, end credit scene. It's like, after, like, am I going to make it in time? And then, like, you show that guy who's just waking up, and he's like, oh, what the heck? And he flips the light switch, and nothing happens, and... Like, that would be a cool after-credit scene, I think. To show that she's not the only person.
Because they're moving faster than electricity.
What if, instead of going to the theaters, we go to Netflix, and we don't do episodes, but we release a 90-minute mini...
Like an episode?
Sure. a 90
Episodes are whatever you want them to be nowadays.
So we don't release it all at once. So I think
stagger it.
I think most streaming doesn't do that anymore anyway.
Well, how do you get like that to be interesting over more than one movie though?
That's what I'm saying. So
that's the reason I've only got the two going for me. I got the woman who has to use blackout curtains just to sleep every day, and then you got the guy that like, oh my god, if I don't find a light source, I don't see anything.
That's the second quote unquote episode. We're not going to do like a series that runs for 10 years. It's just like a four episode event type thing.
No, that's my concern with when we're talking about art pieces. Like, how do you get movie 3 and 4 to be interesting? How do you get even movie 2 to be interesting? Besides it being dark and you have to find light to see, like how else do you make that movie interesting?
I think that we keep it one solid movie focused on Sandy, and then the end credit scene. Don't shake your fucking head at me. I will kick you out of the studio.
Deborah, bring the car around, Deborah.
Your company car's gone.
Do you validate parking?
No, I don't.
Well, that is my pitch.
I like it. Dig it. All right, let's hear yours, validation boy.
I thought.
No, I'll go next. That's fine.
No, I want to hear his because I know that he didn't think up one.
All right, I did actually.
You say that like I didn't just make mine up during while Cody was thinking.
So the devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah.
No, okay. So in mine, it's not. So I feel like there's really only two time travel type movies. There's the goofy one, Back to the Future, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Would you consider Back to the Future goofy?
Yes. And then there's
Why?
It's a comedy.
And then there's like the dead on serious, like
65.
Terminator.
65, Interstellar type stuff. So mine is like, I would say more on the serious side, but I don't want it to be like a drama. I want it to be directed by Tarsem Singh. He did Cell. He did The Fall. What's another one he did? He did The Immortals.
So you're saying all movies that this guy did, but you're not telling us about your movie.
Right. I'm saying I want him to do it because
Good point, Cody.
Because I feel like I'm getting there. He makes really beautiful. Have you seen The Cell with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen any of his other movies?
Maybe.
Well, those three movies are very, beautiful, and they're done with no CG or very little. I feel like really serious time travel movies are done sterile. Like, even though I love Christopher Nolan, I love Interstellar, I feel like it's very sterile. I mean, technically it's in space, so I guess you couldn't really make it beautiful. But anyway, so I don't know if the science is here. I tried working out the science to the best of my knowledge, and I don't think I'm right. So anyway, this follows our main character guy. He's not a lovable loser, but he's not a lovable loser. He's not an incel. He's not anything like that.
Who's playing?
Hear my pitch, and then maybe
all
something. Right. But he's kind of a guy that he has no friends. He has no friends. He has no family.
Nobody likes him.
He's not necessarily that. He's got one of those personalities that are just like he's not an alpha male or whatever, but he's just a dude that exists, you know? Me. Okay. And so instead of another thing that I noticed most.
What?
Keep doing your pitch.
He's
doing.
Damn. I'm so angry. Another thing I noticed is most time travel movies, the person time travels, and then you see the effects through their eyes. In my movie, this guy, he doesn't know time travel is going on, but he's having the effects done to him. The effects of time travel are happening to him.
So he's the time traveler?
No, he's not time traveling.
Okay.
But the effects are happening to him.
So person A travels through time, and then our main character is the one that's affected by it.
Yes, but there's no person. So time travel has been discovered and has been being used as a government weapon. No one knows it exists except for the government. Our main character, we see him go through one day, okay? One day of his life. He's not a loser or anything. He's just one of those people that could die and no one would notice. Okay? It's important to the story. So we see one day go by, and then we see the next day go by, and it's the same day. He doesn't know it. He doesn't realize it's the same day. But it's the same day. We're witnessing the same day. Then he starts noticing weird things like his green coffee cup all of a sudden is red. All of a sudden is red. He goes back to his apartment. It's not his apartment now. He can't get his keys don't work. Like, so the effects of time travel are happening to him. You know, like in Back to the Future where the brothers and sisters are disappearing. And he doesn't realize what's going on until he meets a lady who's telling him, who it says he meets the I know Cody and Daniel are looking at you. So he meets a lady who's kind of like the Joe explainer of it. Basically what it is the government uses him because he has a life to where, so every action has a reaction, right? Every action has a decision tree.
Equal and opposite reaction.
That has every action has a decision tree that bounces off of that. So time travel has a paradox to where, or is dangerous to where, if you do something, you fuck up that decision tree, and now Hitler is the president of the United States, right? He had the government. Maybe he has worked for the government. We don't know his past. It's not important. But the government discovered this gentleman to where, in this one day, he has a point in time where his decision tree doesn't affect anything. So they essentially close that loop, and they use that to time travel, and they create an artificial decision tree off of that to where they can do experiments where they can say, well, what happens if America's hit with an atomic bomb? So off of this, they create an artificial decision tree off of that to where he's completely oblivious, and the government uses that artificial decision tree to do experiments, and then it collapses in. The artificial decision tree collapses in. He wakes back up, and the government reuses that moment, closes the loop, and uses that to do experiments. This woman works for the government, and she's a whistleblower, so she enters this moment in time.
So this is sort of like a time traveler's Truman Show.
So it's similar to the source code.
Yeah, well, kinda, sort of, but he doesn't exist like in source code. He only existed within those minutes. He's not really time traveling in source code. He's just like
yeah. I'm just saying it's a similar idea.
Right. Anyway, getting back to when weird things are happening, it's because just like a VHS tape being played, it starts breaking down. So his green coffee cup starts turning red. Things are breaking down because the government's starting to use it too much. And they use him because they've used this moment in time because anything he does, there's no effects. You know, like if he steps on a cockroach or whatever, it doesn't affect the decision tree that comes off of it. Is null and void. It dead ends. So they close the loop, and they use this to create artificial timelines or decision trees to where they can do experiments. Okay, but they've rewound it so many fucking times that it's starting to disintegrate. Like just like everything suffers from entropy. So it's starting to disintegrate, and the whistleblower comes into this time to say, you need to get out of here. Like, you need to leave this. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he, like the whole time he feels like he's not important. He's this loser, and they use him because there's no paradoxes or whatever. But the paradox is he is the most important person in this experiment. Without him, none of this happens. So the paradox is like he is the most important thing, and the whistleblower sees that, like if his timeline is starting to collapse, it will collapse with him, and he will no longer exist. And he didn't agree to any of this. They found this fucked up loser that doesn't affect anything. So the whistleblower comes into his timeline, and they're basically, the whole movie is him trying to create a decision tree that isn't artificial, done by the government, so he can leave, and this day will collapse behind him, and he can now be free to live the rest of his life.
I'm still saying Time Traveler's Truman Show.
No, I see what the parallel
Yeah,
you're drawing there.
because when the reality of the show starts to fall apart, he starts making actions that are erratic to try and break the script. So but this is a much more. So, how are they using his actions to do their shit? Like, what?
No. So, no, what I mean is, so they created time travel, and maybe they time traveled once and they fucked up the timeline, and maybe they were able to fix it, maybe they weren't, but it wasn't.
So are they using him as just a giant calibration test?
Yes, because this day, with no matter what he does in this day, maybe he works from home or whatever, so maybe in this day, whatever decisions he makes and does not affect anything. Like the butterfly effect. It doesn't affect. It's a dead end decision tree.
So do we get to see the experiments as they're happening? Like the example you gave was the nuclear bomb gets dropped.
That may have been.
Do we get to see that as the audience?
Yeah, we can. The nuclear bomb may have been too crazy, but it's like an artificial timeline that the government, once the experiment's done, can collapse itself in.
Right. I get the concept. Right. I'm just curious what we see as the audience. Like the concept is really cool there. I want to see what we will see of that.
Yeah, let's say when the whistleblower is trying to explain to him, maybe she has visual evidence of that.
Okay, so we're going to see it as like pictures or something that she shows. We're not going to see it on camera. We're not going to see we can turn the corner and see the mushroom cloud and then he restarts the day.
No, because it would be he wouldn't personally see it, because it would be a timeline shoot off of this timeline, off the closed timeline. So a different version of him would experience it.
Right.
So maybe
but we as the audience are not going to see.
Well, maybe we can. Maybe we can. The evidence that the whistleblower shows is dated. Maybe somehow.
So what if it's start now when he has his going through his routine? We showed not narrating or anything like that, just text, and it goes to wakes up in the morning, and then it goes branching pathway, brush teeth first, or get the coffee started first, and then we go from then it goes to he's gonna get his coffee started, and just that way as this web fetch slowly start growing in a margin on the screen of just. Well, we just see it as incident, and then we go stretch to like the 15,000 things he could have did just by waking up in the morning.
That's a cool idea. What I think I like is us seeing like the events of one of those timelines getting collapsed as our introduction to the whistleblower. So we start the movie. Like, we go through their normal day with the green coffee cup instead of the red one and going about through things. He turns the corner, sees the mushroom cloud or whatever event. Blast comes in, collapses. We're maybe 15 minutes into the movie. And then, like, it becomes, like, a black screen. And then suddenly we start seeing, like, tracking lines. And it pans out to, like, a CRT TV. And that's where we introduce the whistleblower and the concept of the government scientists,
right? And
then they like kick out a VHS tape, so that way we as the audience get to see it and experience it through more than just talk piece exposition, and
right.
Then we can go back into and start seeing the little changes, like now the coffee cup is red, and then
I agree. So we can do, but we'd have to witness the dude's first day, and then we witness the next day. But instead of continuing, it's the atomic bomb thing, and then we come back to the VHS tape. And then she uses other tapes. I like the fact we're using retro technology.
So you would do that. The day one person wakes up, does A, B, C,
He always
and then
and then
the second time you see it.
So the main character does the same thing every time. His day never changes.
That's what I was getting at. So the first time he does A, B, C. Then the second time he'll do A, B, C, but then like you have your event, you have your mushroom cloud, then it resets, and then he does A, B, C, and then your other event.
No.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
But I don't think he's.
I don't think I'm explaining it right.
So he absolutely does absolutely nothing different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He still does the same thing.
So his
it's the world around him that's changing.
No.
Through the timelines.
No.
Okay, if he's doing absolutely nothing different, what is causing the changes?
Right. Okay.
What are we watching at that point?
No, hang on. So his timeline stays the same. This is just like just think of it, his timeline as the black hole that the government uses to pass through to create an artificial timeline. So the black hole doesn't ever change. They just use it as a gateway because of the lack of butterfly effect, the lack of the paradoxes. His decision tree is closed.
Because he is his world is so wrapped up in doing the same thing every single time. Well, it's the only safe way they can do it.
Or just this moment in his time has a closed-ended decision tree. So they use this moment in time as the black hole that goes through, and they create these artificial decision trees. So there's another dude, this is called the guy Frank, I don't know what his name is, so confused. So Frank's off doing this, they go through this, and they create Frank 2, an alternate Frank, which experiences the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
They record their data, the timeline, they collapse the artificial timeline, and then this resets. This is just like a door.
Yeah, but
exactly. That's what we're saying. We're trying to film the movie.
That's what I'm saying. So like you would show, Frank Prime doing this, and then you would have your Frank 2.
No, what I'm saying, so I like his idea to where we see one day of Frank Prime, and then the next day we're like, is this Groundhog's Day? And then he experiences atomic bomb, pull out VHS tape, but Frank Prime is still experiencing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we were trying to film it so that we could watch it as the audience.
Right, and so the whistleblower brings, when she enters Frank Prime's timeline to help him, she brings the tapes in, and that's when things like start going, like his timeline is starting to deteriorate. Maybe he's washing that green coffee cup and birds all of a sudden stop and then go again.
I want the changes to be more subtle than that. So I like all of that, but I want us to not know the whistleblower is going to come in until we're near the climax of the movie. And what we're constantly seeing is these deviations of Frank Prime into some catastrophic event, right? So like we start with Frank Prime's day, boom, done. We do the atomic bomb 2, we introduce the whistleblower. The next time we see Frank, this is Frank 3, splintered off of Frank Prime, but now we're starting to see the timelines deteriorate. But I want there to be zero lamp shading. So like Frank Prime comes, grabs the coffee cup like he always does, this time it's red instead of green. Something traumatic happens to him, we restart the day, now this is Frank 4, and same thing, red coffee cup, goes to make toast, grabs strawberry jelly instead of grape jelly, he does nothing to respond to it. Like, he doesn't notice that it's different.
Right.
And then finally, when the whistleblower shows up to Frank Prime, I want her to be the one that introduces and breaks all of this. So, like, we could break it down to the point where, like, he's walking to work and watches someone get gunned down or murdered in the street, and he just keeps going and doesn't even react to it. Like, this just happens every day. And keeps going. And I want to create this dissonance that is unsettling until the whistleblower finally interjects herself into Frank Prime's timeline and be like, look.
So, yay or nay, thinking of a scene, I want an unscrupulous government guy. You got your whistleblower, like, we can't keep doing this. Clearly, it's going to have this deteriorating effect on Frank Prime. And I want your government guy to be like, well, it hasn't yet. They're like, well, it's going to, if we do it, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, I don't think so. And I want him to push a button, and I want him to be like in an IMAX room that just lights up, and it just shows like all these different, versions of Frank going through his day. and it's just this massive, like 360-degree screen where it's just like we've done it, thousands of times. Like it just starts at the top of this room and just winds down, and he's just like, it doesn't matter. He's one person.
Yeah, he's called the group. The group is a group I've been trying to get into a movie or a story for a long time. They're called the Dossier Men. They control the narrative.
I love that scene. The only thing I want out of it, I want it to be black and white CRTs.
Yeah, I want
that's fine.
I want old technology. So I think one of the cool scenes where the whistleblower is trying to explain to Frank how he is important and that the timeline depends on him, where she takes a gun and she'll shoot like 2 bullets into a wall or just off of nowhere and then point the gun at him, and all of a sudden it doesn't fire.
And then she points it somewhere else again and
it
fires
and pulls it back, and it,
Okay.
That's a cool idea.
All right.
I like that.
Who are we getting for Frank?
That's a good question. I don't want a heartthrob.
I lost a bet, so for the government guy, the head guy, we need to put in Steve Buscemi. So we need to make that work.
Wait, what was the bet?
I can't. I signed an NDA. But
on the bet?
Yeah. Steve Buscemi's got to pull that one down.
What about like Kevin James?
No, too old.
Too old.
No, I'm thinking of a young dude. I'm thinking of a young.
You're thinking of a young dude who's set in his ways already?
Do you want like a young dude? What about
I imagine a guy with a salt and pepper beard.
the dude?
Okay.
I was thinking if we did young dude, I want him to go from comedy to serious. I want the he voiced Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon.
Jason something.
Jay Baruchel.
Yeah.
Jay Baruchel would be cool. I was actually thinking of someone similar, the game programmer from Grandma's Boy.
Oh.
The dude that talks like a robot.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So who we doing for the whistleblower?
No, I like Jay Baruchel. Let's
Okay.
do Jay Baruchel.
For the whistleblower or Frank?
Frank.
Okay.
So what are we thinking?
I feel like you need someone who's got because we want a woman, right? That's who I imagine.
But we're not
the
doing
whistleblower
love
is a
interest,
woman.
right? It's just a woman.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, definitely not love interest.
What are their pronouns?
All of them.
It's okay.
Yeah, so
My
you need
pronouns
someone
are
strong and sophisticated.
Who you look? You've already got someone, don't you?
Oh, I can see in her head.
Karen Gillan.
You can see in her head.
Well, I can see her in my head.
Oh, okay.
Amy Adams.
Actually, I kind of like Amy Adams because she was Lois, right?
Yes.
Yes, I like Amy Adams a lot for that.
Is that who you're picturing in your
Batman?
head?
Yeah, like black hair, like.
She's got red hair though. She's famous for her red hair.
Well, I think in this one she has black.
Bitch gonna dye her hair.
Or we could fix it in post or whatever, we could do CGI hair dye. It's not that big a deal.
What's wrong with Cody?
Cody's really upset about the hair thing.
Cody's rebooting or something.
I don't know. Amy Adams is probably fine with red hair. I imagined her in like a black suit, black hair.
Who are you?
High powered.
Who were you picturing? You said you had someone pictured in your
Yeah, I just couldn't think of their name.
What movie is
that? Like in a business suit and not.
Oh, we talking someone who looks professional?
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley. No, that was a joke. I'm sure she would do fine.
Have you seen her before she goffed out?
Yeah, she's weird. It's weird. I don't mean she's weird. I mean the look she had before is like the biggest transition you can make is like you couldn't ask for a polar opposite. She looks good either way. Whatever.
No, the Christina Ricci. Or Richie.
Oh,
okay.
Her.
Yes.
Okay. That is who I want for the whistleblower.
Okay.
Yes, give her more scenes, I say. I like Christina Ricci.
Okay, so how what's the conclusion to our movie?
Well, so this is stupid. I came up with this at work when I was sweeping up soybeans. I like movie titles that are really pulpy, and I didn't want this to be the movie title, but I thought like government agents, you always look like MK Ultra and all these names of like the wars and all these like things. They always got like really sometimes poetic stuff, and I'm like, well, who comes up with these names? But I was thinking government agents aren't really poetic, so I was thinking like so there has to be an entrance and exit, right? Or how would Christina Ricci get in there? So I was thinking like just being pulpy, like the way to get out, or the one decision he could make that could alter the timeline enough to cause chaos effect. It'd be like the linen closet protocol or whatever, to where if he opened up the linen closet, it would cause. I don't want that to be the title.
I love that as a title.
The Linen Closet Protocol.
Yeah, like that. That's how.
That's how you get people to see this movie.
That's
You get the name, the Linen Closet Protocol, and you don't explain anything else. You don't even put a trailer out. People will watch it.
I'm just saying, like, because the government calls it the linen closet protocol, because if he opened that door, that's the one decision he could make that would cause chaos throughout the closed loop, and they would be fucked.
Okay, so the last scene is that we're doing, is that him opening the door?
Or maybe that's the thing. Maybe we do the spinning top from Inception.
Or we do him opening the door and we cut to black, and then it's the start of a new day, and we don't know if it's...
Okay, I like that one better. Yeah.
Because that would be more your spinning top.
Yeah, okay. All right, I like that one better.
I like it. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it at first.
I told you I actually thought about this one.
I think you overthought it.
Adam overthink.
Never.
All right. Let's hear from Daniel.
All right. So let me preface this with I love Cody's movie. Why you read my notes? I love Adam's movie. The problem with both movies is you can't eat popcorn to them, because they are these vacuum, think piece, beautiful, artistic indie movies. I'm going big.
Okay.
I'm going with an established franchise, but I'm not going to tell anyone it's connected to the franchise.
Do we get a time machine?
We don't get a time machine.
We
get a machine that time travels. Okay? So...
You should have put time machines as the...
Well, time travel movie, you think?
Yeah, so what is important here is, like, as we're advertising the movie, we're advertising it as generic science fiction.
Okay.
It's just a new generic science fiction with a generic name.
Everybody else got to look at the paper. I wanted to look at it.
Like Paradox Star.
Okay.
Paradox Star.
Yeah,
that's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice and generic. Okay.
All right.
So our movie's going to open with a bunch of like 60s era style sci-fi, maybe 70s era, where it's old computers, CRTs, green and black monitors, and we're going to do a whole bunch of shots of the inside of the ship. And
spaceship.
Yes, inside of the spaceship.
Gotcha.
And it's all going to be polished, clean, pristine. And as we pan across, our first like real action is going to be someone with a dirty mop that is like slaps dirty mop and starts mopping over the clean.
The Sinstodian.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we're going to get to like a silhouette of three figures. And I've got actors. This is what everyone keeps harping on my actors here. One of the actors, I want Michael B. Jordan.
That's what MBJ said.
Yes.
Fucking idiot.
Yes, I want Michael B. Jordan.
I kept thinking of that wrestler from AEW.
Oh, MJF. Yeah.
Yeah, the classic MBJ.
God, what did I do to him?
I don't know.
You ever had an MBJ?
Yeah, it's nice.
Michael B. Jordan. Okay.
Yes, Michael B. Jordan.
I know where this is going.
The other one, I want Victoria Peretti.
No, I don't know where this is going.
And she, if you don't know who she is,
I don't.
She played Nell in The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, okay.
And she played the love interest in You on seasons 2 and 3.
Wait, was that the one that owned the bakery?
Yes, the one that owned the bakery.
All right.
So those are your
Spoilers.
references.
No, thanks.
You're welcome. And then the third one is a voice actor. Because
Peter Cullen, did you know he was a voice actor?
Peter's right. We're gonna get like a tall, like armored suit. We're gonna do with practical effects, and we're gonna get Peter Dinklage to do his voice. Okay. So these are our characters, and they're gonna be talking kind of like are you sure this is going to work? We're going to get kind of thrust in the middle of their conversation, and eventually Victoria Peretti's character is going to be like, yes, I've run the numbers, this will work, we have to do it exact though. And then Peter Dinklage is like, our window is in 10 seconds. And it counts down, and when Peter Dinklage hits 0, Michael B. Jordan hits a glowing red retro button on the console.
Can it be like red, like this easy button?
Yeah, exactly. But it's glowing.
Oh, right.
And all of the stars that are kind of passed through our viewfinder turn into like streaks of light. And then like the old school retro effects where like you could tell there's 4 guys on poles just shaking the scene around. I want it to feel old and kind of weird, right? And it's going to jumble around, and when the
Bless you.
The stars kind of clear, there's going to be sparks fly, the lights go out, and we've got these kind of like warning lights coming all around the place, and it's going to bust through, and eventually someone's going to get the emergency lights on, and we're going to see a blue-green planet.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, we're here on time. And they're going for a little bit, and then suddenly, like, there's another, like, a camera shake, and we look up, and there's the Death Star.
Okay.
Ooh, man, we're gonna have to wait. What studio do we work for? Because
31st Century Fox. See, 31st Century Fox. We've actually we came back and we actually bought out Disney.
You're bitching about making a hard house film, and we have enough money to buy out Disney.
We unfroze Walt and then told him that we would let him thaw out if he signed the company or whatever.
Well, I can tell you what, your wife's not gonna let you work.
I own him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we see the Death Star, and then we get like an outside shot, and this is where we go from like this old retro kind of style to like modern CG, and we see like a simple like Rebel shuttle. No, not Rebel. Sorry, Imperial shuttle, like the one that folds down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they land on the Death Star. And this is like the first half of the movie. We're going to go through dodging stormtroopers, serious Star Wars shenanigans, and eventually they get to like the inside of the Death Star, and they're planting explosives on there. Vader walks in. Michael B. Jordan and Peretti both turn around, draw lightsabers. And we have a huge fight. And eventually, they don't necessarily have to kill Vader, but they win.
Well,
they
can't
beat Vader.
They can't kill Vader.
Why not?
Is this an alternate timeline?
I haven't gotten there.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
You don't know where in the timeline it is.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. So maybe they kill Vader.
What the death?
Maybe they kill Vader.
Is it Death Star or Death Star 2?
Death Star 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we see them.
Maybe it's a fake Vader.
Then we see him escape from the ship. And as they get back onto the Imperial shuttle, they start taking off. We see an explosion happen inside where they play into the explosives. And as they're flying away, you hear one of them say, Alderaan is safe.
So it is an alternate timeline.
Yes. And then we jump back through time travel shenanigans. And the existing timeline, we get about 20 minutes of the movie where they show that the universe is fucked. But because they saved Alderaan, all these things didn't happen. Alderaan didn't get destroyed. They didn't unify the rebels.
Luke is still trying to get his power converters.
Right. You know, nothing quite works out right. And the Emperor is dominated. The rebellion has been destroyed. Alderaan exists, but it has been ripped apart, destroyed, done all of those things. And they're under complete subjugation from the Emperor.
Hmm.
So then they have that common time travel thing like, we done fucked up. So they jump back through the same wormhole MacGuffin time device that Victoria Peretti's character developed.
So like a time machine.
Kind of like a time machine, but they have to use warp speed plus a wormhole and this device to get it to work right. And they jump back same place, and they see their shuttle land on the Death Star. So then they land on the Death Star again, and the final climactic scene is a three-way fight between Vader, the two of them, and the two of them. As they are trying to stop themselves from planting the explosives. And we're going to end with them killing their past selves.
That's gotta be some weird form of masturbation.
Right? And as they're getting ready to jump back, Victoria Peretti's like, I don't know what's going to happen when we get back.
But Alderaan will be destroyed this time.
Yes. And we jump back, Alderaan gets destroyed, they jump out.
Okay.
And that's when we hit the roll credits.
So is Michael B. Jordan a previously known character, or
No, both of these are brand new Jedis.
in the robot?
Is Peter Dinklage voicing a droid?
So they're not on a ship or a famous ship or anything.
Nope. It is they recreated an old Imperial shuttle. That's why everything looks brand new at the very start, because they rebuilt it to look like something from that era, and they're dirtying it up.
Actually,
so they're not from. So they've already.
No, this is like past movie 9.
Okay, gotcha.
this actually may be possible because there was a comic book line called Star Wars Infinities, where each not episode but each book
issue
Bless you.
was like, so they did A New Hope, but the torpedoes made it through the vent, but they were duds. They didn't go off, and then it showed you the side effects. Then they did Empire Strikes Back. Luke died.
Is that the one where Chewie ends up being Bigfoot?
No, I don't think so. But so anyway, they go through Star Wars Infinities. They go through the 3 main movies where, like at the end of The New Hope, Yoda drops the Death Star on top of the city planet. Coruscant, yeah. So yeah, that's possible. Disney Plus had the What If series.
Mm-hmm.
The fans are complaining about the staleness of Star Wars.
So would you use that to change the timeline? Like, so a lot of people don't like the sequel trilogy.
Right.
So would you use that as a way, or are you just making a standalone?
We're making it standalone, but we're going to leave this open in case someone wanted to reboot or change the Star Wars universe.
Actually, Favreau and Lucas are trying to redo 7, 8, is it 7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
So this may actually legitimately could happen.
Well, if it ever happens, and they know that George Lucas listens to this.
No,
John Favreau, George Lucas, call me.
I was
you
actually
owe me royalties.
within this fake
I can hear
reality.
his beard.
It'd be very quiet. He's got a really shitty small beard. George Lucas.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
He can have whatever kind of beard
Don't
he wants.
insult my future sugar daddy's beard.
I meant within this fake reality. That's actually would be a good way to get.
Isn't this a real reality?
No.
or is this the
Are
one
we,
that they
are
used
we
to
all
go
just
through the
heads in a
wormhole?
jar?
This is Frank.
Am I Frank Prime?
No. Cody's
Oh,
Frank
my head's
Prime.
gonna explode.
Oh, that makes me feel bad.
Yeah, that was a huge insult to him.
How is it? Oh yeah. It was. Shit. Sorry.
Let's see.
So,
let's rewind.
because I'm so
Frank has
mundane.
no friends.
No, I just meant
He's a loner.
I just meant
his
this-
life is not important.
I just
Records
meant
podcast every other Sunday.
I just
Yeah.
meant to slam Tyler.
Man, between that and you saying that Daniel's present came from the clearance aisle.
That's not. Oh,
Wow.
Well, I mean, we did find out there was a duplicate between episodes, so
Yeah.
you know.
I genuinely like that idea. I think it's cool. Yeah. And it's out of all the ones we did, that's most likely could possibly happen in reality.
Yeah, so I like the idea, and I think you could do like once you get like opening weekend out, you could rebrand it and then tell it as Paradox Star or Star Wars Story. Once a lot of the novelty of not knowing wears off, and then you could release a trailer that's showing.
Well, realistic. I know this is fantasy, but I think realistically, Disney Plus is probably the best you're going to get out of that. They could.
Wow.
They could. No, that's Jesus
God.
Christ. That is not.
Yeah, that's shit.
Wow.
Like,
That's not a slave. No, I'm saying they
the
could.
best you're gonna get is Disney.
So I guess
You're not
mine
gonna
and
get
your
it.
movies go direct to streaming service.
You got
Like
P,
direct to VHS.
P Dink, and you can't.
No, I'm just saying you could drop that on Disney Plus like Daniel wants with no thing, and the word of mouth buildup would be fucking tremendous. It'd be like the craziest advertisement. Just Disney and Stars would get so many vocal comment jerk-offs that
It would be 30th Century Fox Plus.
Yeah, the only thing I do not like about the idea is how much Star Wars nerd rage you're going to get reflected at us for making this movie.
I don't know.
I mean,
man.
you cannot make a Star Wars movie at all without Star Wars nerd rage.
Because he resets it.
And I'm not even saying we're going to officially reset it. We're going to go back with them popping through the wormhole again.
That's
And
what I'm
she's going to
saying.
say, I don't know what.
And
That's
who knows
the
what
point.
happens after that.
That's the point. If this is good, Lucas and Favreau can use that to get rid of 789. If people don't like it, you can just be like, how do you know it doesn't reset?
Yeah, they go back and the ship disintegrates, because of time paradox or whatever, So like the whole point is going through the wormhole and not knowing opens up multiple angles depending on the reception of the movie. So yeah, you could be like, okay, this is just a fun little side story. It's non-canon. It if you want to consider it canon, it has no effect on the canon at all, other than there's 2 more Jedi that Darth Vader has killed to his kill count. If you want to consider it canon and you want to change 789, here's your opening for 789. Here is a storyline for 10, 11, 12 if you want to go that route. It just opens up a closed storyline branch.
And plus, if you want to make a sequel, they don't disintegrate. They go in Empire Strikes Back, and they I don't know, do something in Empire Strikes Back.
I think if they don't disintegrate and you have a sequel, you open with Victoria Peretti lightsabering the time travel device that they installed on the shuttle, and she destroys it.
But then later in the movie, they find out that they needed to fix something, and she's like, "Fuck, that was a one of a kind."
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that forever answers the, well, why don't they just time travel and change it plotline that you always have in every hole.
Yeah, this is gonna be difficult. I'm gonna slap you in the face if you don't quit talking. All right, so while I'm deciding the winner, do we like time travel movies?
Yes.
Very much so.
It depends on the time travel movie. For the most part, I really do enjoy it.
Like, none of these really have like a dedicated time machine. Like, you have a ship that basically travels through time through something, but like there's no like DeLorean where it's like this is a time machine.
Correct.
It travels through time.
Well, in my head, I was picturing more of like they've tapped into the stream, and they were able to. In my head, it wasn't VHS because we came up with VHS here, but it was like those old school editing machines that's got like the rockers on them, and they're able to rock through time. So time is just the time stream is something that is naturally in nature, and they were able to tap into it, and they can now control this small section. So they don't need it. I didn't really think about when they go to. Like I told you, the science wasn't exactly there.
That's fine. I mean, like, do you need the science? I mean, Daniels doesn't. They're like, we have a machine that allows us to travel through time.
Right,
like,
with warp speed and wormhole and like.
I mean, like,
if time travel needed accurate science, we would have no time travel movies.
So I'm saying, like, that's one. Do you want like a bullshit scientific mumbo jumbo in your movie, or do you want it to be like, this travels through time because I'm a scientist and I say it travels through time?
But that's still scientific mumbo jumbo. If you just have your character say it with authority and you take in your characters take it serious. I mean, if you're making Hot Tub Time Machine, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's how we get the flux capacitor, right?
Right. So you just say it like, yeah, we tap into the mini CalOrians and we built this refrigerator that if your character says it with authority, and the people he's the people that being told to don't wink at the camera, go get it, and they take.
You're the worst winker
Yeah,
in the entire
is that
world.
what you've been doing? Is winking?
Yeah.
That is awful.
God,
Yeah.
how have you ever had sex with
You
anyone?
hadn't been having
Is
a
winking
stroke.
an important part of sex?
No, I'm just saying.
That's all you do.
The point is,
Look at that.
the point is, if the people in the movie take it serious and buy into it, your audience is going to buy. You don't have to say, well, the math is like. I love Interstellar. I love Christopher Nolan, but even I was like, okay, the math don't explain us the math, dude. We get it, okay?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you want like Christopher Nolan Interstellar, where like
No,
or do you just want it like it's a hot tub time machine and Craig Robinson just like stares at you through the camera?
I mean, I like Hot Tub Time Machine, but you all know that I prefer my shit violent and depressing, so I prefer not so much my movies. I don't like comedies.
Your life is violent and depressing.
No, my life.
That's how he likes to have sex.
My life is I'm so passive aggressive and a pussy that
I'm having a seizure.
All right, so I have a fun and interesting story that involves time travel and mistaken identity.
Oh, you're gonna say sex and winking.
No, time travel.
We're hitting the mark.
We're hitting the mark. Okay, well, this is gonna be a quick story.
Okay.
All right, so
Plane in the neck.
yeah, many years ago, I was married, and my wife and we had planned a date night, but her brother had come into town. So before we went out on our date night, we had gotten together with him for like lunch or dinner or something like that. And we were talking about how for our date night we were going to go out to the movies, but we hadn't decided a movie yet. And he's like, there's a great movie coming out. It has Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And they play like Bruce Willis is like the old man, and he goes back in time to talk to Gordon-Levitt, and he explains this whole plot. It sounds super interesting, and he's like, "Yeah, I think the name of the movie is called Premium Rush." So my wife and ex-wife, are like, "Okay, well that sounds great. Let's go see it." So we get to the movie theater. We buy our tickets for Premium Rush. Sit down. Movie opens with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and we're like, "All right." So the movie, if you have not seen Premium Rush, is about a bike messenger. And the bike messenger falls into this giant conspiracy. But because it's a conspiracy movie...
I thought it was I haven't seen it, but I thought he got in trouble with the mob or something.
Yeah, he falls into like a mafia mob conspiracy.
My bad.
So he falls into this mafia or mob conspiracy, but because it's shot as a conspiracy or a mystery movie, there's all these scenes where you see him, and then he's responding to the camera, and you don't see who's on the other side of the camera. So for the first half of the movie, while they're shooting this conspiracy thing, every time they do that, I'm like, oh, this is where we introduce Bruce Willis as future him, who is going to then, say whatever. And it never happens. And it keeps never happening. We get finally to the point where we're like, it feels like they're wrapping up the plot here, and there's been no Bruce Willis and no time traveling. Just a whole bunch of cool antics on messenger bikes. And finally, the movie is ending, and her and I are both like, what the hell? And the movie ends, and there's no Bruce Willis and no time travel, nothing. It's just a cool kind of mafia bike messenger movie.
Don't they do like parkour on their bikes and shit?
Yeah, but it's all like BMX type of stuff, and the whole movie ends with like a giant army of bike messengers against the mob. Like, frankly, Premium Rush was a fantastic movie. I would recommend it to people.
Would you rather watch Premium Rush or Looper?
And that's what it was. He was describing the plot of Looper, but told me it was Premium Rush. And I have still not seen Looper. But just a fun...
Really?
Yeah, I have not seen it. But Premium Rush is fantastic, as long as you're not expecting time traveler Bruce Willis to be in it.
Oh, well.
Did you like episode 8
of
Star Wars?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you may like Looper then.
Okay.
Well,
I am one of the few people who enjoyed episode 8. I have gone on record that I enjoyed 8 better than 7 and 9 both.
That's because 6 is...
Don't.
Okay.
Only because I cut him off before he said that.
7, 8, 9.
I was going to choose Adam. But
Really?
Yes, because you have mainly because of the stuff that Daniel added. If I'm being honest, like the VHS, like the old tech. But you know that I like most of that stuff that you said, Cody. This was really, really difficult. I'm not bullshitting you.
He's just doing a cash grab.
Yeah, and I'm in third place apparently.
That's why I went to you next.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I get defensive. I don't think my work's valid.
I like your idea. He knows I like that shit. The government conspiracy, the secret government guy, Steve Buscemi. Just this makes us even, Steve.
Even Steve Buscemi.
Even Steven.
I'm not.
Well, that was probably one of our best episodes, guys. Don't you think?
Oh, no comment about mine. Just oh shit.
You said you thought it up right when Cody was saying his.
Just because I didn't have it prepared doesn't mean I didn't put work into it.
I didn't say it wasn't bad.
Wait, did I actually win?
Yes.
I thought you were fucking with me.
Hey, congratulations, Adam.
So what's our next previously on?
You're supposed to have a slip in your back pocket.
Have we done time travel yet?
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun, guys. I'm gonna leave.
No, okay, all right. This one may be a little bit difficult, but I want you guys to come up with a movie.
Done it.
Good.
It's called Premium Rush. It's about
time traveling
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
No, mine's a Premium Flush.
Oh fuck! I don't want to know.
All right,
Is it about plumbers and messengers?
I will get back with you because
Bruce Willis is on the
tell the
toilet.
audience
You have to know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know.
You have to come up with
All right,
something.
my idea was this. I don't know if it works, but I wanted the movie to start out. I want the movie to hit every genre. Can we make a movie that works?
So you want us to make a movie that fulfills every single genre of filmmaking?
Not like the subgenres where it's like you hit horror. You don't have to hit the slasher and the monster.
So you have to do comedy.
All right, so I get the idea you're going for. What if we have to pick two genres and smash them together that don't normally get smashed together?
Well, see, that's the thing. Everything gets smashed together. Think of there's literally everything has been smashed. Yeah. Wait, is that what the kids call sex these days? Smashing?
No, they just sit there and have an eye seizure.
I like that idea.
Yeah, we just take two genres, then we just smash them together.
With one genre that you have to pick, and we have to pick something that is not that genre. So we can't just do a horror movie.
No, yeah. You pick a genre and we'll smash another genre into it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the hardest. I want historical epic. Sword and Sand. You can pick Sword and Sandal, or pirate movie. It can be back in the pioneer days, but it has to be a historical epic.
What's the cutoff?
Before Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
Oh darn. Okay.
All right. You want to do a steampunk?
I was thinking something Prohibition era.
Ooh, okay. I'll allow Prohibition era because I like that era.
Okay.
Okay. So historical epic. Are you picking both genres, or are you just picking one?
No, I'm just picking one.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to come up with the other one. Okay, so we're doing historical epic smash up.
No, you know what?
Next.
I don't mean to be a dick,
Yep.
but I'm taking Prohibition era away because I may use that for something else.
That's fine.
All right. So let's do historical epic. Well, Tyler, you're a history major. What do they call
You're a history major?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that.
College degree, and I work in a factory.
Hey.
You give me some time
Make less money than him.
So let's do you can do Sword and Sandals. You can do Pioneer Days.
Just do it right where you had it before,
All right.
prior to the Industrial Revolution.
Prior to the Industrial. So
Okay.
So no reliance on technology.
Well, I mean,
right.
There's still technology.
I mean, caveman had technology.
Well,
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Caveman's had technology. They even could rock a little bit, you know.
Were they the guy?
Good night, everybody.
All right, you have been listening to previously on a Damage Control
Plane in the
podcasting
neck.
production. Check us out every Monday on YouTube and the SoundCloud for new episodes. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, or Twitter and Facebook at Damage Control Podcasting.
By the way, audience, y'all don't hear my jokes, but I'm fucking hilarious.
Sometimes.
In between recordings.
Adam, push the button.
Cody, you won.